If you are an immigrant or the child of immigrant parents or grandparents, then you might be familiar with this feeling that you have to make the most of the opportunities you've been given. Opportunities that maybe your parents or grandparents didn't have, but sacrificed a lot to make sure that you did. Maybe there's this quiet need to prove that it was worth it, that their sacrifice wasn't in vain, that you won't let them down, that you can build a life worthy of everything that they endured to get you here. And somewhere along the way, you begin measuring whether or not you're doing enough. Are you truly taking advantage of all of the opportunities you've been given? Are you working hard enough? Have you accomplished enough? Are you successful enough? Would they be proud? Can you be proud? If any of those thoughts resonate with you or feel familiar to you, I want you to recognize that that's a lot to carry. And I think many of us carry the weight of those thoughts without even realizing it. So that's what I want to explore today. This belief system that leads us to feel like we have to fulfill some sort of metric in order to feel worthy of the life and opportunities we've been given, so that we can feel more comfortable or confident or proud inside of who we are. And this belief system can lead us down a path where we spend our entire lives working and pushing and grinding to do more and be more. And I want to offer you an alternative perspective that might change things for you and allow you to see yourself and your life differently. Because what if the dream of a better life that your ancestors wanted for you was never about what you could build or accomplish or measure your worth against? What if the dream of a better life is one that you can feel inside of you? Recently, a relative of mine from Canada came to visit me in California. Him and his parents immigrated from Europe to Canada when he was a child, and his family had to sacrifice a lot in order to make that happen. And when he came to visit me, I took him to my favorite place by the ocean, a place that's become a bit of a haven for me, and I really wanted him to be able to experience. And in a moment of overwhelming emotion, he said something to me that deeply impacted me. He said, "This is the dream, that each generation gets to have a better life." And I knew what he was really saying and doing in that moment. He was reflecting on everything his family had been through and was hoping it was worth it. Over the years, through spending time with this person, getting to know him, and intuitively sensing what lives beneath the surface, I've come to understand something about him that I think is far more universal than just his story. I think deep down, he feels a sense of responsibility to his parents, grandparents, and ancestors. Responsibility to take the opportunities he's been given and make the most of them. And I think deep down, he doesn't feel like he's done enough, that he hasn't been able to live up to some idea of himself that he's had in his head, and that he hasn't been able to fulfill this version of himself that would justify everything that they've sacrificed. But what I want to highlight with this story isn't just the pain that he carries to do more or be more or become worthy of the life he was given. What I want to highlight with this story is that he feels that the pain that he carries is justified, that the pressure that he puts on himself isn't just a burden, it's a responsibility. He believes that if he were to release the pressure that he feels to accomplish more, to be more successful, to accumulate more wealth, to have a bigger impact, that it would be doing a disservice to those who sacrificed and endured pain and suffering in order to grant him that opportunity. That their sacrifice has become a debt that he needs to repay. So he must continue to be hard on himself, and in the process, withhold love, acceptance, and peace. Because to offer himself love, acceptance, and peace when it hasn't been earned yet would be like letting himself off the hook. And to withhold something that he really wants to feel is like showing his respect to where he came from and honoring where he came from. It's a reminder that the pain that made his life possible hasn't been forgotten. But this situation of feeling indebted to your ancestors is just one expression of this pattern that lives inside of many of us, where we believe that something outside of us has to be resolved or achieved or changed in order for us to feel differently inside of who we are. That we are inherently flawed in some way, and that we can't feel differently until something outside of us, the outside world, grants us permission to. That a stranger's respect or validation is the only thing that's going to allow us to feel confident or pride or satisfied. Or that a friend or family member that might not even be alive anymore holds the key to being able to allow us to feel at peace. And this trap of feeling like we have to earn the right to feel things can show up in very subtle ways. For example, spending your entire life working tirelessly to build wealth and stability and accomplish incredible things, to only always feel like there's another goal and another achievement or accomplishment that we haven't quite made yet, and never being able to just feel satisfied or feel gratitude or celebrate yourself for all of the achievements that you've already accomplished, or always feeling tired or exhausted, but continuing to push and strive for more because to rest feels uncomfortable. And you weren't given all of these incredible opportunities through sacrifice to let them pass you by. And resting feels like it would be a slap in the face to everybody that worked so hard and endured so much for you to have these opportunities. Or spending your time traveling and accumulating all of these incredible experiences, but never fully allowing yourself to really enjoy them or be fully present inside of them because you're always thinking back to all of the family members who never got the chance to. And something about it feels wrong and unjust, and maybe you feel slightly undeserving of being able to. Or deep down, feeling like you haven't done enough for your family. Feeling like you weren't able to give them the life that you feel like they deserve to have, and never feeling worthy of fully receiving their love and support when you're with them and also when you're not. All of these patterns point to the same cycle of spending our entire lives trying to feel worthy of all of the opportunities and circumstances that we've been given, and trying to feel differently or better inside of who we are, but never fully allowing those feelings of love or freedom or peace to come in and to be really deeply felt and embraced. And I think on many levels we recognize this, but we don't know how to be differently because we've spent our entire lives learning how to withhold through effort, that it feels lazy or complacent or disloyal to just slow down, rest, and be, or to fully offer ourselves love and appreciation freely now, before we've accomplished X, Y, Z. We spend our entire lives withholding the very thing that we and our ancestors have worked so hard to be able to offer us. Freedom, the ability to feel alive and free unconditionally. Maybe your ancestors didn't know how to choose that for themselves and fully feel it. Or maybe they weren't given the opportunity to because they had to endure so much. So maybe honoring where we came from isn't a measurement of how much you're able to accomplish with what you've been given. Maybe honoring where you came from lies in your willingness to fully receive the freedom that's available to you. Not because you've earned it, not because you've proven yourself worthy of it, but because you recognize it's available and you want to experience it where your ancestors couldn't. And that's the paradigm shift that I'd like to leave you with today. Because when my relatives said, this is the dream, that each new generation gets to have a better life, I know what he meant, and I agree. But what I believe a better life is looks different. It doesn't look to me like achievement or accomplishments or my impact or the amount of money I make or the place that I live. To me, the dream of a better life is determined by how I feel inside of who I am. The ability to see that the dream that I'm living isn't just about the reality that lives outside of me, but the one that lives within. To no longer feel indebted to those who came before me, as if their sacrifices are my burden to bear. To no longer feel undeserving of the opportunities available to me, and to feel this need, this pressure to do something with them and utilize them and build something more from them. To no longer feel like I always have to be doing more or accomplishing more or achieving more in order to live up to some expectation that I have for myself and be able to feel differently inside of myself. To no longer feel need at all. Any need to do or be differently so that I can feel differently inside of who I am, but instead be able to stand in front of the mirror and love and appreciate what I see. Be able to show myself respect and compassion without any conditions attached. To be able to hold myself with love through life's ups and downs without holding every failure over my own head. To be able to show up and use my voice and speak authentically, regardless of the perception or reception of me. And to be able to see that the dream that this life offers me isn't just about what I can create with it, but how much freedom I can feel inside of me. And to be able to access that frequency, a frequency that is only perceived inside of your willingness to see it, choose it, and allow it freely. And in doing so, live the dream that's only accessed inside of feeling free. And that's the dream that I want to pass down to generations after me. The ability to feel differently. What I wanted to leave you with today is perspective. The ability to witness this belief system that tells us that we aren't allowed to rest, that it's wrong to want or need less, and that we have to earn and work for our own approval, and that somehow our ancestors would want that for us too. Or that the dream for a better life only looks one way, when there are so many things that can be experienced when you're willing to see it differently. On this channel, we explore alternative perspectives in order to free ourselves of the ones keeping us stuck and to be able to truly see the power that our belief systems really hold, because it is your belief systems that dictate your truth. And what you believe is true is going to determine how you feel about you and how you live your life. And the only way to break free of the paradigm where you feel indebted to those who sacrificed for your freedom is to no longer believe that that debt is needed. And perhaps instead see that the gift that they've truly offered you is the ability to question your beliefs about you and to experience a life that allows you to.